Today's video, in this video, we're going to be creating a professional logo in this video by using the masking tool. We're going to be learning the importance of mask and how to mask in this particular tutorial. So I'm creating a professional car company logo. Let's jump right in and let's begin. Now, first of all, what I'm going to do quick over here, I'm going to be changing the canvas size over here. So head over to this 3 dot over there. I'm going to click that. I'm going to head over to image size. I want to change the image size. I'm going to be using the width and height. We're going to be going with 120 by 720. So we're going to be changing our height over here to 720. Right, so we already have our width at 120, so we'll just change our size to 720. So that is it over here. Now what I want to do over here, don't forget at the beginning of the video I told you we want to learn how to mask. So first of all, we're going to be bringing in an image. So we're going to be masking that image, right? Masking some part of that image so that we can create a very amazing and good looking design, right? So we're going to be doing quick over here. We're going to be hitting the plus icon over here. I'm going to hit from gallery. Now I'm going to head over to my images and bring in the car resource I'm using over here, the icon. Let me head over there. So I have this icon over here of a car that I just have in my image. So I'm going to bring it over to Pixel Lab. So here we have with the car icon. So we're going to head over to our image section area. Right down over here, we'll head over to our image section area. Right, so we're going to tap the car, head over to our image section area. I'm going to head over to relative size. I'm going to increase the size a little bit so we can really see what we're doing over here. Just increase it a little bit. So also increase the width and the height. Right, let's try positioning this a little bit at the middle. So you can just increase it to 100 if you want to. You're going to be seeing the edges are becoming blur. Right, don't just worry about that. We're going to work on that very soon over now. Now let's just increase the width and the height so we can see this very clearly. So I'm going to position this in the center. Okay, let me also keep this at the middle. So this is our image we're working with here. So what we want to do here over here is I want to head over to the layer tool over here. So we're going to hit the layer tool. I want to lock this particular car so it won't have any effect on what we're doing. So we have locked the car icon over there. Now we can go ahead and use our masking tool. Now to mask this particular design, we have two options on masking. Now you head over to this image section, right? You have the Bezier tool over here. Now when we hit the Bezier tool, we have a lot of options. But when we unlock this image, now let me unlock this a little quick. Now when I tap this image, now if I scroll down, you're going to see the masks tool over here. You understand? Now automatically you can use this mask tool to just do whatever you want. You can use the in, you can use the out, right? You can just do whatever you want with the max 2. You can decide I want to move it to somewhere and just like lock that part, or just lock this part. It should just look like half, right? So you can basically play around with this max 2, right? But what we can also do if you're not familiar with that particular max tool, we can also max using shape, and that is just the essence of the particular tutorial. Now let's go ahead and know how to use shape to max. So we have the shape tool over here, and don't forget I've locked this, and over here we have the shape tool. Now when we hit the shape tool over here, we have this square shape, right, that's been given to us. Now what we can do with this square shape, right, let's reduce the sizing and just increase the sizing a bit. We can increase the radius. Now the radius at the edges, we should make the edges look nice a little bit. Just reduce that a little bit. Right, now what we can do over here, we should stretch that. So we just go ahead and just let's go ahead and position this nice over here, right? So we can just as well make it a little bit small, right? And we'll just play that, and we'll just as well try to position this in the middle, right? So let's go ahead and move this a little bit. Let's move this. Okay, we can just bring this down a little bit so we can actually see what we're doing here. Let's push this over here a little bit. So we can just bring this down. Okay, let's bring this down. So we have this particular shape over here, right? So we have this option to include this shape over here inside the car, right? So we can just as well decide to do anything that we want to do with this particular shape. So we can go ahead and just use this, and we can just max this, or we can just go ahead and decide I want to stretch this a little bit. So we can head over to edit, right, and just add a little bit of stretching to this. So we're going to see how that looks on it. So just stretch this a little bit further. Okay, let's try positioning this now. Okay, let me adjust this upward a little bit. Or it seems also I have to bring this forward a little bit. Okay, we have this over here, nice over here. Now we have a lot of options that we can go ahead and do with this. We can just go ahead and play with this. We have different options right now. Now what we want to do, right, we want to give this a color. We want to enable colors, right? So we can go ahead and enable some color for this, right? So we can just go ahead and give this a color black if we want to, or let's go ahead and use another color apart from black, so we can actually see what we are doing, right? So this is our shape over here. Now what we want to do also, want to add our text. Now let's just make this more spicy. We'll edit the text over here. Now let's go ahead and edit our text. So we're gonna put we can just go ahead and put something stylish inside. So we can just, let me go ahead to font. So I'm going to change the font and use a font we know we can just go with. So I'll just head over to my font and just choose a font that makes sense, right? So we have this font over here. So what I'm going to do, I want to reduce the spacing a little bit, right? I also want to reduce the sizing a little bit. Right, so we want to position this over here. So we can just go ahead and give this a Zeka, or can you decide to spell it? Can you decide to spell this fully, right? So I can go ahead to pause this video and just write. So I've just done writing the executive, so I can go ahead and copy this, right? Can edit this and just go ahead and put cars. Right, so we can also go ahead and position this. Let's just move this a little bit faster. And let's try position this over here. Right, so also want to reduce the sizing a little bit. Okay, let's position this below. So we have this effect over here, but that isn't the main focus of our design. So let's go ahead and use the main focus while we came here. Let's now to max this stuff. So what I want to do, we can go ahead, hit the car over here. Let's just go ahead and give the car a very nice looking texture if we want to. We can go ahead and give the car any color we want. Or if we want to mask, we can go ahead and hit the shape we want to mask. Okay, we have the shape over there, and head over to our erase color. So head over to erase color, and when we hit erase color, a particular color is going to be erased for us, right? So we have a particular color erased. When we hit erase color, it's going to just erase it. But that isn't the main aim of here. Now I'm going to teach you how to mask this stuff professionally. Now what I want to do, really is we want to make a color for our shape. Let's head over to colors. Let's make this black. Okay, we can just make this black over here, right? Then next we want to be doing, even if I've made that black, is want to bring in one more image also onto this. Let's bring in one more image because I want to engrave this, want to make this logo look very, very realistic, right? Let's bring it, let's hit from gallery. Let's bring in an image from gallery. So we have this wood over here. Let's bring from my gallery. So I can decide to save this point as a project. So I can just go ahead and save the point as a project. So I can only revisit this anytime I want. So we can visit this as many times as we want. Let's go ahead and save it as a project. Go ahead and hit this. Okay, now I've saved that as a project. We can also stretch this. So let's head over to relative size, and let's make sure both of them are 100. Right, and let's make sure we push this to the back. Let me sure this goes to the back. Right, so we have this over here. Right, nice and cool over there. So what I want to do, let's change also the color of the car. Okay, now we can see the color of the car very clearly. Right, so what I want to do, let's merge this all together. So we're going to merge this. Let's merge all the design we did together. So let's merge this. So when we've merged all as one, right, we can as well head over to erase color. Right, can head over to erase color, but first let me change this design. Okay, let me just leave that, head over to erase color, and automatically the white color is going to be erased for us. Right, so that is done. I've erased that away from this. The next one I want to be doing also, let's mask this all together now. We'll click this, let's add the wood to this. So we've marked that all together, and let's also head over to erase column, and let's on that. Right, so let's choose black, let's erase the black away. Now okay, we have black also has been erased away, but let's wait for that. We're going to do that a little bit later. Let's just go back a little bit. Right, and we want to change the color of this. We want to change them. Right, so what we want to do, we're going to go back to our saved state. So let's head over to our saved state over here. Now I'm going to go back to here. Okay, at this stage, right, then we want to also repeat the same thing. Head over to our image size. Let's make sure both of them are 100. We're going to also move this to the back. Right, the next one to do, we want to make sure we merge all of them together. We're just mainly repeating the same process. Now once they have merged together, we want to make sure we head over to erase column. Right, so make sure that has been erased away, that is the white color has been erased. Right, and the next one to be doing real quick over here is want to make sure it has been merged well together. Now we're going to merge both of these together. Right, so I've merged everything now together as an image. So I want to do one, head over to the image background side. So head over to the background side. I want to choose a background for the design, so I'm going to hit from gallery. I'm going to be inserting it over here. So I have this image over here I want to use as background, so I'm going to just go ahead and add as a background. And the next one I'll be doing, I want to head over to my image section, and I want to head over to erase color. Right, I want to enable this. So I'm going to want to drop the touch icon, and this is where the magic happen. Now we want to erase, right, some stuff away. We're going to erase the black color away. Right, so we have this. So if you can see, our executive card is well positioned at the center, so this E is not well positioned, but that's a problem that we can easily fix. You can just fix that yourself by going back to our previous project, but hope you get the idea. Now what we did here, we have maxed, right, some colors away, we have maxed some shapes away. Right, now if you don't want to use this particular shape, you can use any shape of your choice. Right, so do the masking on this particular design. Right, now this is just it, simple like this for this video. It shouldn't take much of your time, but if there's any changes you want to make, please head over here and head over to your project and redesign this. Right, there are some mistakes with this in this video, but hope you get the idea behind just using colors, right, and shape to mask. Right, that's when you're not really familiar with the professional masking tool over here, which we're going to be learning in later videos. Now what I want to do lastly before we close our tutorial, you may want to also head over to your image tool, and if you want to make this a 3D shape, you might as well decide to do that. Right, if you want to make this look even more realistic, you might give it a depth of 3 or 4. You might want to darken this a little bit, so it's going to make sense even more. Right, so you might want You may also want to give this some shadow, right? Just reduce the blurry just a little bit, right? You can just make this even more realistic by giving it shadows. But everything just depends on your choice on what you want to do. But you can also emboss this. So, but try and remember to always reduce the bevel and increase the specular hardness. Just play around with everything. So you see we have this mistake over here with the shape, and the shape came out too much, right? So the effect was not met. So you just play around with this, right? And everything's gonna like make sense a little bit well later. Hope you get the idea behind using this shape masking tool and engraving this, right? So thanks so much for watching this video. You can go ahead and save the design over here, so you're gonna be an image in your phone, right? So I'm gonna see you in later videos.